Welcome to our podcast, You're Entitled to Our Opinion, where we delve into the Christian life, the Bible, and pretty much anything that's happening in the world today.
But more than just our opinion, we want to share truth that just might change your life.
Now, we don't claim to have all the answers, but we know who does. And our goal is to give him a chance to make a difference in your life.
I'm Jay Scribner.
And I'm Tom Johnson.
And you are entitled to our opinion.
Jay, how you doing today?
You know what? It's a great day. I'm ready for fall. I don't mind telling you.
Please.
I like the summer.
Yeah?
But I'm through.
A couple of days of warm would be nice, yeah. Well, Jay, today I'm dying.
Let me hear it.
Yep. In fact, as just to launch off into what we're doing, did you know that every 27 days you have a new layer of skin?
Every 27 days?
Because all your skin cells are dying. Yeah. In fact, you're made up of 37.
So now does it just keep stacking up, or what happens?
It keeps falling off. That's what you got to vacuum out of your bed.
Oh, that's it.
We're made of 37 trillion cells, and they're constantly dying. These cells are constantly dying in our bodies. But the cool thing is, and this is the way God has us fearfully and wonderfully made, is we constantly regenerate. And that'll preach in more ways than one.
That'll help me out a lot.
Yeah. Our blood cells regenerate every 4 months. Our fat cells regenerate every 10 years.
Every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours. You think now they
just
multiply.
Depends on how many Oreos I put in.
Oh, you and me.
I feed the fuel.
That's it. Exactly right. But I have decided I'm never going to use mouthwash again after I read some of the stuff that I was looking at, because I don't want it. Mouthwash kills germs, and I'd hate to have dead things in my mouth. Anyhow, dumb idea, dumb joke. But anyhow.
Okay, now is it my understanding that you're going to have a huge event happen pretty quickly?
A huge event?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with it.
I'm going to go with this terminology.
A huge
Hair
event.
Today, gone tomorrow.
Do
I understand that's happening?
The end of a era, yes.
End of a era.
Next week we'll explain all that we're talking about. But friends, you'll just have to join us next week because, yes, there's going to be a little bit of a change here. And there's a reason for it. And I'm just going to get rid of
I don't think a little bit of a change. I think you're going to lose 10 pounds overnight.
I might. But you know what? I'm going to lose some death here. You know, and we'll explain it like I say next week, but it's so much fun. It's something that Jay's been on to me for years. So, but yeah, it's so much fun. But we're going to talk about mortality today. Mortality. We're just dying to get out of here. But anyhow, we were talking about, the average age span of a man in the United States is only 75.8 years.
I'm living on borrowed time.
Exactly. And the life expectancy of women is 81.1 years.
I think I'm one of... Oh, no, never mind. I ain't going to go there.
Don't even go there. But, the Bible talks about 70 years, and a lot of people think that that's kind of the given lifespan for people. And, it used to be back in the day. I'm reading this book called Cradleland Chronicles, and it's about pre-Noah, the time after the expulsion from the garden to Noah. And you look at it, all of these people that lived hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, it's amazing to think back and think, what did they do? How did
Well, they didn't
live?
have Twinkies and Oreos.
That's probably part of it. Yeah, there's a lot of theories to that.
I don't even know why I brought that up, except that's
well,
my steady diet right there.
And that's the thing. It's not what you eat, though. It's what eats you that kills us. But our diet does have a little bit of effect. But interesting that, why aren't we living 150, 200 years as humans here on Earth? And diet could be part of it. Our environment, there's a lot to that.
There's a whole lot to that.
But one of the biggest things is stress. And I thought I sent you this information. You know what the number one...
I used to tell preachers if they're stressed out, they're not golfing enough or fishing enough. Stick with me.
There you go. You know what the number one killer of men is?
Women?
No, you wish. No, it's heart disease.
Okay.
Out of let's see, per 100,000 deaths, 171.8% is heart disease, and the second one is cancer. Those are the two killers for us. But the number one killer is that we have an expiration date, whether we want it or not. We only have so many days here on Earth.
I had a guy one time ask me if I'd preach his funeral, and I said, yeah, I do that. I said, when is it?
Yeah.
I said I've got a pretty busy schedule.
Uh-huh.
You need to tell me.
Can we fit it in sometime? Anyhow, yeah. The oldest living person right now is Zhao Marinho.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the common name.
He's
112 years old.
Wow.
The oldest woman is Ethel Caterham, and she's 115 years old.
Wow.
And
where are these people from?
The one, Yao, is from Brazil.
Okay.
And Ethel is actually from the UK.
Yep.
And the longest recorded verifiable longevity is 122 years, 164 days.
Wow.
And it was a woman named Jean Calmet. And there have been many that have, over the years, said, oh, yeah, like this one, Zaro Aga, he's a Kurdish man. He claimed to live 157 years. Problem is, it's not verifiable because of records and stuff like that. But 122 years is still a long, long time.
I have two friends, both of whom are 103 years old.
Uh-huh.
And they're still going strong, both of them.
Wow.
Wonderful ladies.
Yeah.
And still going strong.
Yeah.
I heard the story of Alonzo Stagg, who used to be the football coach for the University of the Pacific out in California, and he had they had mandatory retirement at age 70.
Okay.
And so the University of Chicago picked him up for a football coach.
Yeah.
At age 70. He coached till he was 98.
Wow.
And then he said, I'm finally going to give it up and let some of these younger guys have it. So 2 years later, they obviously throw a centennial party for him.
Uh-huh.
And among other things, as he was talking at his 100th birthday party, he said, he said, I just may never die. And he said, the reason is you almost never hear of anybody dying past the age of 100.
That's true. Most people beat that by a lot of years. When years ago, my mom said, I want to live to be 120.
Your mom said that.
She said,
how old is she?
She's 91 and a half. And she said, Tom, I want to live to be 120. And I turned to her and I said, Mom, I want you to be able to live. I don't want you to just exist.
Good statement.
And her eyebrows went up and she said, yes, I really want to live. And, that's one thing. A lot of people, my financial advisor, he said, don't retire, because a lot of people I know, when they retire, it doesn't take very long and they're in the grave. They
So
don't
you retire
live.
and then you expire. Huh?
That is exactly right. But you know what? They quit living.
And I actually have observed that same thing. Just
Really?
looking at a distance, it seems like if people retire, if they retire and do nothing,
That's it.
there seems to be a common denominator there.
That's the key, and that's the part about living, really living, and that's why I really love being around believers who are full of life. And there was I think he was 92 or 94 years old. A man. This is back when I first moved back here into the Ozarks, and we were going to church together. He's skinny little guy, kind of tall. He could barely see. And he'd lean forward and we'd get about that far away and he'd say, "Tom, God just showed me some things that I never knew." And he was 94 years old. And I thought, this guy is living. He is so full of life. He's so full of the Lord. And yeah, his body was slowly slowing down. But his spirit was so strong. It was amazing. He loved worship. He loved the word. And God was constantly showing him things, even in his 90s.
That's an inspiration right there.
What a way to live.
It is. Now, I asked an old man here in Branson one time, I said, "Have you lived here all your life?" And he said, "Well, not yet."
Yet. That's true. Well, in 1 Corinthians 15:50 through 58, it says, "I tell you this, brothers, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God." And you know what? We need to have that expiration date. In fact, I'm looking forward to mine. Not that I want to rush it, but you know what? Over the years, God has given me a perspective that this life is such a shadow of the things to come.
Oh my!
You read in Hebrews where he talks about the earthly temple is just a shadow of the heavenly temple, and it's just like, Lord, if you have that much for us in eternity, why do we cling to this life so tenuous? It's just so strongly. So many people, it's like the old saying, how many people want to go to heaven? And the little kid, he wouldn't raise his hand. And he said, "Johnny, why don't you want to go to heaven?" "Well, I thought you were getting up a group to go right now."
Exactly.
And so, yes, there's life to live here on earth, but there is so much more that we have when like Isaiah, we see the Lord high and lifted up, face to face with our eyes. That's going to blow me away for at least half of eternity right there.
I've said many times to people, "Hey, look, I'm on my way to heaven. I'm just passing through town."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that needs to be our perspective.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think that's why we do get so tied to the earth, so tied to our life here. But I think that's coupled with the fact, Tom, that we don't really have a good perspective about heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like you, man, I am looking forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not trying to check out today.
Right.
But if I do, whoa, Paul said, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain."
Right. Right.
And so why wouldn't we want to be reaching for that which is so far much better than what we have here?
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that is a dilemma in the church even. And that is that we just don't have a perspective of what heaven's going to be like. And we get so tied down to the carnal.
Yeah.
I think that's a real problem right there.
I'm trying to pull it out of the gray matter, but it talks about where is our treasure? In earthly things or in heavenly things?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When we were talking about it the other day with somebody, and we talk about why? Oh, Chuck was talking about it Sunday. Why do religions have idols? It's because they want something they can touch, they can see, they can embrace. We have a God who is outside of time, space, and matter, and we can't see him. We can't physically touch him. But we have so much in the Word that reveals who he is. And we realize this physical body isn't us. I am a spirit. You are a spirit with a soul living in a body.
Yep.
And like you just said, it's only temporary. You know, we're both in our 70s now, admitting it. So,
man, hey, whoa, don't lay that on me.
away.
I still think I'm 40.
But remember when we were 20, when we could just run forever, we could work forever, we could do it. Our bodies are slowing down. And see, the thing is there's so many people, and this is a rabbit trail, they want to continually look younger. They got to have, the plastic surgery. They've got to dress young, and they got to think young, and why is that? It's because their hope is in this life.
Sure. All right, the T-shirt I was wearing yesterday says, "It was more fun being 20 in the 70s than it is being 70 in the 20s."
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of truth to that.
There is. But again, that's the earthly perspective. And this is where my mind is, right? It's like there's so much excitement when I think of what we just said. When we cross over and we enter into heaven, there's going to be so much that all the questions will be able to be answered. I don't know that we have all the questions answered right away, but we will have the ability to be able to say, Lord, what? Lord, when? Lord, where? And we'll have that instant communication with him in the presence. I want to see the four creatures around the throne that have the four faces. And I want to say, why? Why do you guys have four faces? One facing each way. We have so much to look forward to that if we put our hope and our trust in this life, we are poor, poor people.
My wife says, and she said this frequently, that she thinks that when we go to heaven, we won't be there very long till we say, oh... So that's how it is. And there's probably a whole lot of truth to that. Mm-hmm. That we'll have that knowledge, we'll know as we are known. Yeah. And the questions that we have now, they'll be answered. Mm-hmm. Either by Christ himself or just the knowledge that we have when we enter into heaven.
Oh, that revelation.
When we're talking about this business of mortality, I'm reminded of Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27, that says, "As it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment."
Yeah.
So I think we need to understand that there is an expiration date. Mm-hmm. There is an appointment. And, I've preached on this verse before, and I've simply pointed out, we all make appointments. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, we keep those. There's been some times that for one reason or another, maybe even something totally out of my control, I wasn't able to keep an appointment.
Right.
But there is an appointment that we will all keep.
Yeah.
And that is that expiration date. We don't know when it is. God does. Mm-hmm. But it is an appointment. As it is appointed unto men once to die. Mm-hmm. And, You know, that does away with this Eastern mysticism concept of what's the term I'm looking for? The
Nirvana.
Yeah, and the reincarnation. The reincarnation.
Oh, right.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
No.
It's appointed unto men once to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need to understand also that after this, the judgment.
Right.
And you don't prepare for the judgment after you die.
Mm-hmm.
You got to prepare for it now. So those that are watching us today, I really want to encourage you. Get ready for that appointment. There is an appointment you will keep. And after that time, it's too late to do anything about your eternal destiny. Mm-hmm. You need to do that now. If we can help you in any way through our podcast, just reach out to us. Mm-hmm. Tom would delight in visiting with you, and I would delight in visiting with you and showing you biblically how you can prepare for that appointment time. But do it now.
Right.
Because we don't know when that, just like the guy I was talking to, and he said, will you preach my funeral? Yeah, when is it?
When is it? Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I think we need to shift to now. Yes, we've established we have an expiration date, but our mortality not only speaks to our death, but it speaks to our life. And there's a lot of people.
So what do you mean by that?
And this is where I want to go with this, is that we are mortals in this life, in this walk. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 25, Jesus said this, whoever will save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. And it's not just martyrs and things like that. In this life, we are mortals, and we will suffer it's the great fall. When Garden of Eden happened, before that, our bodies were perfect. Our bodies were immortal. They were eternal. But sin brought death. And so in between now and the day that our expiration date happens, we are dealing with the fact that it's a struggle between life and death. And we'll talk about it first in the spirit world. There is a warfare that's happening between life and death. And what Jesus said here, whoever tries to save his life is going to lose it. If you cling to this mortal life and not do what you just talked about, prepare for that expiration date and the judgment, that struggle right there, you're going to lose out, not only in this life, but in the life to come. But Jesus says, I've come to give you what? Life, and life abundantly.
Abundant. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
And our mortal life, our that struggle between life and death is so important for us to constantly be aware of, not to be morbid about it, but to actually live. Like I told my mom, don't just exist, live. And true living is walking in a daily relationship in the Word and with the Lord. And it looks like you got something. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. But exactly what you just said. But I just want to add to that from this perspective.
Okay.
That's a choice we make. It's available to us because of what you quoted a while ago from Jesus. Mm-hmm. He said, I've come that you might have life, and that you might have it more abundantly. Now, that's a choice that we make from a standpoint of lining ourselves up with God, with God's Spirit, with God's Word, and deciding that we're going to be obedient to the Word and allow the Holy Spirit to guide us. And He is going to guide us into that abundant life. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking financial here. Might be. God might bless you financially.
Sure.
But we're not just talking about a blab it and grab it deal. We are talking about the abundance that God gives us through all spiritual blessings through Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. And that's revealed to us through the Word if we'll walk in the Word.
See, and that's why it's so important to realize what I had said earlier. We are spirits with a soul living in a body. What happens when our mortal body suffers all of the limitations that can happen? Cancer, major injury, brain injury, the things in this mortal life where we say, God, if you really loved us, you'd take away all this stuff. And the one thing that keeps coming to us, and as we study the Word, is this isn't our life. This is just the temporary. What we're experiencing in this life needs to build our spirits so that we walk in the joy of the Lord, not in the pleasures of this flesh.
Yeah.
Talked about finances. You talk about all these people that, 98 years old and still strapping strong, and I got all these things, and I got finances, I got relationships. Everything in my life is going good. Physically, maybe emotionally. But is it spiritually?
Right.
Because that's where your life really is. Our spirits aren't mortal. They are immortal. But when we focus on our mortality and try to cling to that mortality in this life and get the best of it, we're losing out on the whole scheme of why God put this whole thing together.
And you were talking about that. You were quoting from 1 Corinthians chapter 15
Mm-hmm.
a while ago. And I just want to reread one or two verses there.
Yeah.
For the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, and we shall be changed.
Mm-hmm.
For this perishable body must put on the imperishable, and this mortal body must put on immortality.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the way we're made. We just need to understand that we live in a sin-sick, sin-infested world.
Right.
We're living under the curse.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be a day that there will be no more curse.
Yeah.
When we're in the presence of God. But en route, we are delivered from the curse.
Right.
Because He, Jesus, became a curse for us.
Yes.
That we don't have to live under that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, even though we're living in this sin-sick, sin-infested world, we can still enjoy the abundant life that can only come through Jesus Christ.
That's great. That's good. And one of my favorite sayings or verses is 1 Thessalonians 4:13. We do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others who do not have hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so we declare to you by a word from the Lord that we who are alive, who are left until the coming of the Lord, will not precede those who have fallen asleep. And it goes on, the Lord will descend and it'll all come together. Jay, I don't know if you're going to be here 40 years from now, but you know what? The day that you cross over, I'm going to say, you lucky guy. Because you're going to be going, I'm going to be going where we always have meant to be, walking in the presence of the Lord. And so for those that are dealing with someone that's maybe getting close to passing over, the encouragement is, yeah, we'll miss them. But you know what? They're where they want to be, and they're where we're going to be soon, because He's coming soon.
You know, you were quoting from 1 Thessalonians chapter 4.
Uh-huh.
I want to read the last phrase.
Go ahead.
I don't want us to miss that. And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Right.
And the prospects of that statement right there gives me spiritual goosebumps.
Yep.
And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Yep.
Now that's the perspective of immortality.
There it is. There it
Man.
is.
Hope you join us.
Yeah.
Hope you join us. You gotta join us.
Please.
But you can only do that through Jesus Christ. He's the door. He's the way, the truth, and the life. Oh, how we commend Jesus to you. Thanks for joining us here. We want you to join us in heaven. And, the Lord willing, we'll see you next week. And that's because you're entitled to our opinion.
Friends, you can contact us at yourentitled777@gmail.com. Also on Facebook.com, You're Entitled to Our Opinion. Jay's video blog, Here's Hope America, can be found on Facebook.com, Here's Hope America. Tom's blog, Durf Nerfel's Thought of the Day, you can find at Facebook.com/DurfNerfelsTOTD, but also you can sign up to receive it by email on the website durfnerfel.us. Share our opinion. As with all podcasts, you, our listeners, are the way people join us as you share the podcast with them. You're Entitled to Our Opinion has been recorded at Flat Frog Studio, Hollister, Missouri. For more information, go to www.flatfrogstudio.us.